I am your host, FatDag, and you're listening to WhysAdvice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at FatDag.com and follow along on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at WhysAdvice. Send in your comments, your questions, and your celebrations, and I'll include them as part of the show. But before we dive in, remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points. Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. Well, hello, welcome to episode 97 of WhysAdvice. And man, it's a great day. It's a great attendance goal day for my workout. Got a good workout in this afternoon. But I tell you, it wasn't good on the performance side, which is why I always stress is hit your attendance goals first. No one in the world would complain about a 1.5 mile run in 11 minutes. I ran at a 7:20 pace, which is absolutely smoking for what I'm used to doing. You know, I used to run this 1.5 miles, and I would hope, and if I could do it under 15 minutes, I would celebrate, and that means I would pass my PT test. I ran it today in 11 minutes, and the first thing I thought of when I crossed the finish line today was that, wow, 11 minutes, that's incredible. And I celebrated. And then I sat back and said, well, but it's not my goal. My goal is to be at 9:45. But I want you to know the first thing I did was I celebrated the fact that I hit it in 11 minutes, a time I have not seen, for years, other than I've seen it recently, of course. But it just that time happened. I'm like, hey, this is something I'm not used to doing. So I celebrated that. And that's what I want us to do on this journey is we have to always remember where we started. And we have to know what the end goal is, but we've got to celebrate along the way. And if you wake up one morning and you're down 55 pounds, but the scale is up a pound, you need to celebrate that. You're down 55 pounds, you're working the plan, you're getting it done. You just ran 1.5 miles in 11 minutes. That's incredible work. Then you focus, then you set some work in progress to go get different results. If you want to do that. So that was my today. I got to, at the end of this month, at some point, I got to work in my PT test. I'm going for that 100. I want to get 100 on this test. It's going to take some work. It's absolutely focus. It's discipline. I haven't put in the amount of work that I really need to. So I have a little bit of doubt in the brain if I can get there or not. I have full determination to get there, but I'm wondering if maybe it's a little too late. And so what I tell you is that I will absolutely keep going, and you will see when I ace this test, because that is absolutely something I want more than anything. Leah writes in, she says, how amazing is Connect and the entire Weight Watcher community? It was such a pleasure to meet you and many others that we share this journey with. I've been on the program for a very rough and bumpy 3 years and 2 months. The first 20 pounds came off fairly quickly. But when I lost my mom in 2014, I struggled, and I lost the same 5 to 7 pounds for a year. I used Smart Points when it launched as my total reset. I lost the 35 pounds until late 2016. Then I went on a cruise and never got back on my game. I remind myself that 55 pounds is great progress. I haven't gained it all back, no more than 10 pounds, and most of all, I have never quit. I showed up every week and I sat in my green chair no matter what. I always thank those that tell how they've come back because from day one, I told myself I would never be a return Weight Watcher. It may take me 5 years to make goal, but quitting is not an option. Thank you for your continued efforts to keep us focused and determined. Like I told you, one of the things that really resonated with me was that goal is a feeling. I do want that feeling. This weekend, I took time to write down my why and meal plan and catch up on some wise advice. I can't wait to crush it this week and weigh in on Friday. I haven't been able to say that in a long time. Take care, Leah. Leah, that's a great story. And the best part of your journey is the fact that what you said was when you started this process, you committed yourself to never quitting. Every week we hear of someone who said, hey, I'm coming back. And of course, we welcome you back. This community is fantastic. It is amazing. So it doesn't matter if you're restarting or starting over, or, a lot of times we get in that mindset where we're just kind of embarrassed to restart. And so you recognize all that. And so in your journey, you said, no, you're not doing that. And so you said you're never going to quit. And so that is what's keeping you going. You're doing a great job on that. Absolutely. Going on a cruise is, when you go to a cruise, one of the selling points is the all-you-can-eat buffets, right? So obviously what you need to do is make sure when you have that scenario pop up that you have a game plan to reset when you get back. Take whatever the number is when you get back, take it, own it, and just continue to move on. Now, the other thing is obviously back in 2014 with the passing of your mom, that's a very emotional time, and my heart still continues to go out for you for that. And that is the mantra that I say is at that point, that's when you just do your best. Your life completely changed. Your life completely was turned upside down. At some point, you get back to what you now will have to redefine as normal. And when you start settling into new routines and new habits, that's when you need to have something that brings you back into Weight Watchers, back into the plan, and continue to get it done. You've done exactly how as I opened the show, is that you've celebrated the fact that you've lost 55 pounds. The ups and downs will continue to happen. And then you understand that goal is a feeling. You can get that feeling. You found your why. You're not quitting. That's what success looks like. Success on this program looks different for everybody, but the overall theme is know why you're doing this and not quit until you get there. If you can do those two things, which you clearly have articulated here, you're going to get it done. So again, 55 pounds is great progress. If you've lost 55 pounds, you can get to goal. That goal feeling of you stepping on the scale saying, I don't want to lose any more weight, you can get there. So keep up the great work. Ethel writes in, says, hi, FatDag. I'm a daily weigher, and for the most part, I think it has helped me tremendously this time, the last time that I'm on Weight Watchers. There are times that a gain here or there gets to me, but it's usually that fleeting feeling. I try to remember that it's the trend line that matters. So far, I have lost 45 pounds as an online-only member, and I'm quite proud of this achievement. It's been more than 15 years since I've been at my current weight. That said, I have a long way to go. I want to lose another 130 to 140 pounds. For some reason, this time around, I feel confident that I will get there. I just want to thank you for sharing your experiences and the experiences of others. I look forward to your podcast and to you being my wingman on this weight loss journey. I'm currently working on figuring out my why. Well, I've been overweight my entire life, and so have many things swirling around in my why that I need to do this. What I would like to do is narrow down my why to the most important one. The one that will get to the heart of why I'm overweight to begin with. It's tough, but I'm working on it. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm sure it's a lot of work, but it's deeply appreciated by all of us that need that all-important wingman on this life-changing journey. Ethel. Ethel, I'm glad to see you pulled out a different tool than a lot of us use. I am a daily weigher as well. There's a handful of people that weigh daily. It's the first thing I do every single day when I get out of bed, or maybe the second. But I get out of bed and I'm off to the scale and I check in. It doesn't matter what the day before looked like. I need that data point to just let me know and confirm what I knew from the day before. If I ate off plan a little bit the day before, I will understand the scale is going to be up. If I drank a lot of water, if I had a bigger meal, even if it was tracked, I understand the scale will go up. I understand that my scale can gain 3 to 4 pounds overnight, and it can also lose 3 to 4 pounds overnight. All of that I've learned by hopping on the scale every single day. Now, the danger of hopping on the scale every single day is it takes a lot of willpower to understand that the numbers are just data. If you hop on the scale and you're expecting it to go down and you see a 3-pound gain, that's very defeating if you don't understand that it's just data. If you don't stay with it. And so when I see a gain on my scale, it motivates me and drives me to work even harder. And that's how I get to goal. So I think you obviously have some of those same mindsets because you're saying it's helped you tremendously. So keep up the great work. But for everybody else out there listening, is you have to understand that daily weighing for many keeps us accountable. For others, we don't need to know that. So you have to figure out what part of your journey, how your brain works, how it's wired, and if you can get it. So far, you've lost 45 pounds as an online-only member. And then what I loved in your email, you said you are quite proud of this achievement. Well, heck yeah, you ought to be. Online-only members are very successful. We know there's some magic in the meeting room. We know that. But those people who can lose weight online, they're disciplined and they have found a way to replace the accountability piece that the meeting room provides using a support network that Connect provides. And those two things take a little more discipline, in my opinion, and you're getting it done. So you're doing fantastic work. You've hit 45 pounds down. You want to lose 130 to 140 more. It's the same thing you've been doing. It's just a matter of time. When you look on focusing in what your why is, and you're trying to figure out why you're doing this, let me just offer up something that may shed some light for you. One of the whys that's very powerful is that you want to just decide to be healthy. If you make the decision that from this point on, I'm going to be healthy, what would a healthy person do? What would a healthy person eat? Where would a healthy person work out today? If you start living like a healthy person, if you start making actions and your decisions based on what a healthy person would do, then the time doesn't matter. The fact that you've lost 45 pounds, if you switch over and start living like a healthy person, the next 130 comes off. You've proven that you can live the lifestyle. Now modify it to live and for your health. It's the one thing we're given we just can't get back. So continue to do what you're doing. Every day, make an improvement in your health. If you make an improvement in your health daily, the weight will have to come off and you're going to get to goal. So Ethel, keep up the amazing work. Thank you for your email. Out of New York, Lauren writes in and says, "Hi, I love your podcast and feel so thankful for you. I have a question about triggers in a stressful job. Thinking back on your journey, were there any triggers you just had to avoid, especially in the beginning, like foods, people, places, or being too tired? I've been a psychiatric nurse for 5 years. I started a new job about a year ago because it's closer to home. I swear the job is making me fat. Well, not literally, but I think it's a huge trigger for me because it's such a stressful work environment. Every time I'm there, I just feel hungry. I'm starting to look for a new job. Other than that, do you have any advice in the meantime I could use to overcome this? It's getting in the way of my goal." Thank you so much, Lauren. Well, Lauren, the question you asked is, did I have any triggers that I had to avoid in the beginning? Yeah, absolutely. And I started making a list of them, and I figured I'd kind of read some of them to you to give you an idea of what maybe they were. Triggers for me were fried food. Triggers for me were Pizza Friday. Triggers for me was soda. Triggers for me was a pizza. With pizza, I always drank soda. Triggers for me were baseball games and football games. Triggers for me were movies. Triggers for me was when the doorbell rang and it was a girl standing there in a green vest and she said, "Would you like to buy cookies?" It was an auto response of yes. Triggers for me was at a restaurant when the waitress said, "Can I get you something to drink?" It was an auto response of Coke. So what I learned through all of that is triggers for me were mostly habits that I'd built that I couldn't live without or I didn't think I could live without. So what I had to do is I had to recognize each of the areas where I was overeating. I did that by tracking. I would look in the tracker. I tracked everything that I ate. I was very, very deliberate on my tracking. You've heard me say before, I tracked Tic Tacs. I tracked ketchup. If I ate it, I tracked it. The story that I'll share with you real quick is kind of sums up how I work the plan. And I'm going to make up some of the numbers because I don't know them off the top of my head. But in essence, I went to Chick-fil-A, a couple times a week. And so I tried to figure out what I was going there for. And so the first time I went there, I ended up getting, 12 nuggets. I ended up getting a medium fry, ended up getting a Coke, ended up getting barbecue sauce, and ended up getting ketchup. I tracked it all in, and I was out of points. I couldn't have dinner. So that night I didn't have dinner. And then so I took note of that. The next time I went there, I said, well, if I don't have the Coke, I could probably have dinner. Okay, so the next time I went there, it was the nuggets, it was the fries, it was the barbecue sauce, it was the ketchup, and it was a water. And then slowly I started losing weight, and I got to the point where all of a sudden I started losing points, and all of a sudden that wasn't working anymore. And so the next thing I did was, well, if I go there again, maybe I should give up the French fries. So I ordered the nuggets, ordered a fruit cup and a water, still had the barbecue sauce, and was able to work that for a little while. After a while, same thing, kept losing weight, kept losing points, and I finally got that meal down to I figured out the reason I go there is because I like the nuggets. I still do. They're 9 points for 12. I track them, no barbecue sauce. It's a 9-point dinner with a fruit cup only, strawberries only. That was the learning process that I learned by tracking everything, by understanding the triggers that the habit was I have to go there daily, and the habit was I have to order fries. Would you like fries with that? Yes. Would you like fries with that? Yes. At some point, you have to quit giving the auto response, and you have to answer with what you truly want. Would you like fries with that? No, I actually don't. And you have to prepare yourself for what you're going to encounter when you get there. And I tell you now, when I go in and order, it's a little bit of a painful process because my order is so complicated. I say I'd like a 12-count nugget, and they say, what would you like to drink? And I have to say, well, hang on, I actually would like a fruit cup with that because I don't want the fries. And then they say, okay. And I said, and actually, I only want strawberries in my fruit cup. And they look at you, and I know they're looking at me like, okay. And I've gotten to the point now I can walk them through the register on how to type it in. So I built a completely new habit around recognizing that my triggers were auto responses that were bad habits. So I had to build the new habits. Every day you figure out what it is that you're doing habitually, and you say, no, write them down, figure them out, and find something to substitute it along the way and get it done. I talk about it with my attendance goals versus performance goals, right? If you're going to the gym, if I want you to start working out and you go to the gym and you work so hard that you need a month off because you're tired and you're sore, you've never built the habit. I would much rather you pull into the gym parking lot every single day, go in and say hi to the receptionist and walk out because you built the habit of going there. The triggers were not stopping or bypassing it. So it's triggers and habits are probably a term that's a little bit interchangeable in this journey because much of what we do we do it on the habit. So now when you talk about Chick-fil-A, one of the reasons that I do strawberries only because it comes up quite often is I don't mind the fruit cup at Chick-fil-A. It's apples, it's oranges, it's blueberries, but I really love strawberries. And I learned in my journey that I wasn't willing to trade a handful of French fries for a couple sliced apples. It wasn't that rewarding. But I'm absolutely willing to trade a handful of French fries for a whole cup of strawberries. So, they don't all do it. Many of them across the nation will do it. Maybe if we get this thing going, get this movement, that they'll finally do it for all of us. But I was so happy I'm gladly trade, a bucket of fries for strawberries only, but not for some apple bites. So that's the deal there. The next up is Heidi. Heidi writes in and says, hi, FatDag. It's time for me to email you my why. I've been on an incredible journey shedding 68.6 pounds, and I've got 15.6 pounds to goal. I'm already at the lowest weight of my adult life, smaller clothing sizes than I've worn since high school, more than 20 years ago, and I feel amazing. But I refuse to let complacency rob me of the best part of this journey. The best is yet to come. You see, I don't remember a time I wasn't trying to lose weight. Even though I was within a healthy weight range in high school, I didn't look thin. At least not to me, not compared to several of my peers. I remember going on my first diet around age 10, and at the start of every year wanting to lose 10 pounds. So reaching goal is a long time coming. Which brings me to my why. My why is simple. It's because I am worth it. It's because I matter. It's because I am good enough. Because I am worth it. That's it. Of course, I have many other reasons that others often list as their why. I have a ridiculously wonderful husband that I want to grow old with. I have 2 awesome kiddos that I want to see as much of their beautiful lives as possible. I have friends and family I love and support, and they love and support me. I would equate all of that to the rewarding view at the top of a summit. It's a wonderful payoff, but it's not the reason we climb the mountain. The reason to climb the mountain is simply because I can. I love my husband and my kids and my friends and my family, but they aren't what fuels me. The inner need to reach a goal is all me, because I can, because I will, and because I am absolutely worth the effort it takes to get there. I can't thank you enough for all you've done and continue to do for the weight loss community. Your dedication is astounding. You truly have a gift for reaching people, and I know without a doubt the support I feel from Connect and you and your podcast have been instrumental in helping me keep my goals in focus. Heidi. Heidi, your last sentence sums it all up for me as well. The fact that that this continues to help keep you going in your own journey means that I will continue to do this. As long as someone tells me I'm making a difference in their lives, I will continue doing this. It's that important to do. But you're down 68.6 pounds. I tried to reach you ahead of time to see if there's an update to that number, but I'm sure there is. I follow you along, and you're doing fantastic work. You're very close to goal. You feel amazing. I know you do. One of the things you talk about is that when you say the best part of this journey is yet to come. It absolutely is. I told you that. The best part of this journey is when you go beyond where your mind even thought was possible. That is absolutely the best part, because every day is a complete surprise. Every day you find something new and you say, you know what? Hey, I am worth this. This feels great. This feels amazing. Your why is absolutely beautiful. You are worth it. You're worth it for you. You're worth it for your friends. You're worth it for your family. And you're getting it done. I love what you said about you would equate all of this to the rewarding view at the top of a summit. Well, yeah, it's a wonderful payoff, but it's not the reason you climb the mountain. Right? A lot of us, we climb that mountain exactly like you said, because it's a proof of endurance. It's a proof of saying, I set out to do something, and I'm going to honor that commitment to myself. The weight loss journey is exactly that. You set out to say, I'm going to hit goal. It's been something you've been working on since age 10. The healthy BMI range absolutely is a range. So at age 10, since age 10, you've wanted to lose weight. Imagine what it's going to feel like. The day that you hop on that scale and you look at the scale and you look at the number and you say to whoever's there with you and you say, you know what? That's it. I don't want to lose another pound. It's something you have not said since you're 10 years old. The emotional release that happens on that day, I wish I could be there with you when it happens, because I'm positive it's going to be a beautiful moment when you get there, and the entire room is going to explode when you get there. It's going to be absolutely incredible. And the best part is you did it for you because you're worth it. Keep up the amazing work. We were hanging out on Facebook just before the show, and a couple cool things popped in. The first one, Kathy hits her 40% weight loss today. 40%. Can you imagine losing 40%? It's absolutely incredible work. It doesn't happen by accident. Kathy, congratulations. 40% is phenomenal work. You must feel fantastic. You must feel incredible. I'm positive you do. Anne writes in from Facebook as well, and she chimes in with, since January 10th, she got her 75-pound charm tonight. 75 pounds. So, folks, we have someone at 40%. We have someone who's lost 75 pounds. They're proving that this can be done. If you want this, if you want to stay focused, you can get it done. It may take some work. It may take some effort. It may take some tweaking of the program. What it doesn't take is quitting. And those two folk got it done. Oh, and one more. Amy writes in, Amy hit goal. That's right. Amy hit goal. 34 pounds since December 27th. So about 7 months. And I asked Amy, I was like, Amy, what is it that got you to goal? And I'll read it to her. She goes, my advice is don't quit. Eat your weeklies. Otherwise, it would not have worked for me. I'm too much of a foodie. For me, I've found if I have a craving, it's better to plan for it. Let's say like Pizza Hut Pan Supreme Pizza. I planned for one piece when I had points, and I had salad and a glass of wine with it. I tried skinny pizzas, but I never was able to satisfy my craving, and they didn't go away. So my advice is plan for your craving. That's right. If you plan for your craving, you can work it into the plan. You're in complete control at that point, and you have made the conscious decision. I've always said, if you make the conscious decision, if you plan for it, if you want to do that and you track it, then you can get it done. If you plan for it, then go ahead, track it, enjoy it, and make the most of it. But if you didn't plan for it and it just sneaks up, that's the point where you have to make the decision. Do I want this unplanned, untracked thing, or would I rather make goal? Folks, you can do both. And when you do, you will reach your goal. Amy, congratulations on hitting goal. I'm honored to celebrate with you. Keep up the amazing work. Folks, what is it that you're celebrating? Let's share it on the air. Go to FatDag.com, click on Listen Now, send in your celebrations, your comments, your questions. I'll work them in as part of the show. I talk about it every episode. The show does not exist without your email, without your comments, because that is what we're doing. We're sharing our lives so that somebody else who starts their journey on day one can look at this and go, what I'm trying to do is possible. There's something very powerful. And having the journey that you don't know how to walk, having someone walk it ahead of you and you can follow along. It's amazing work. We do this as a community. We get it done. And I'm honored to walk this journey with you. Well, that is going to do it for this time. Remember that losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You have to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goal and go after it. I wish you good focus.